What's up, YouTube? RV Tech Pro here. This should be installment number 6 of the series, going through the toolbox, giving an updated tour. And this is the third slim drawer in the center bank. This is a triple bank KRS box, and this is the third slim drawer of the triple bank right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So this is a drawer, and there's not a whole lot in here, so this won't be a long one, guys, okay? So at the bottom, it's got a spare NGK plug. I use those in my cars, work on Nissans and Infinitis and Toyotas and stuff. All right, this guy right here, this tool, let's open it up. This is a coaxial cable prep tool. It also incorporates a standard wire stripper, but the reason I bought this is for RG6 and RG59. It's not my favorite, but basically it has a couple blades in there, and it's basically a prep tool for when you're working with unfinished coax cable for cable televisions and satellite, okay? So that's what that is. So for me, it's a backup. I have one of these little demagnetizers. Magnetizers for, you take a non-magnetized bit, put it in here, and it will make the bit magnetic. So it works for a little while, okay? So fun fact, if you have magnetic bits and you use them in an impact, the force and the repetition of the impacting will demagnetize that bit. So if you start off with, you paid this money for these bits and you use them in your impact gun, and then they don't hold so well, it's because it's the impacting that's knocking the magnetism out, okay? So you could definitely benefit from one of these. They work so-so, you know, so it'll work for a little while and then you'll have to do it again. So there's that. I don't really use it that much, but if you're working on a car or something, or anything really, and you keep having the screw to drop, trying to get in a cabinet in the RV, and you have one of these, and even if it's only going to work for an hour or two, this is going to be your friend, because that screw is probably holding you up. A 2-minute job take 20 minutes because you keep losing the screws. So that's where this comes in handy. I wouldn't sit down all day magnetizing hundreds of bits. I just do it as I need it. Then I have some stuff that's kind of out of place, overflow. These two picks, Husky, made by Husky, and this one is built like a pry bar. It is the only one out of the set that has a square stock. So a proper pry bar would have a square stock, not a round stock. I was kind of disappointed in Snap-on when they came out with their miniature pry bars, which I bought too. It has a round stock on it. That is improper for a pry bar to have a round stock. A pry bar should have a square stock. And because this has that square stock, this is a extremely strong pick. This thing is super stout, guys. And I did a video on how I was able to get some pretty large snap rings out of it, out of a hub assembly, when none of my other picks would do it because they're all bending up. This one did not bend. So awesome pick right there. I have some Snap-on black oxide picks on order that are about this size. They still have a round stock, but I want to see how they hold up versus this. I love the handles on the Husky. They did a really good job with the handle. It has a grippy material in the middle and then the hard plastic. So somewhat, as I hold it, it's somewhat reminiscent of an instinct grip that Snap-on has. It's just a little smaller, but the handles are really great on these. So this is a very inexpensive way to get a really good set of picks. Home Depot, lifetime warranty on all the Husky tools, guys. So don't sleep on the Husky. Those are great tools, great tool alternative to the truck when it comes to that pick set, and a lot of the other tools too, because they're lifetime warranty, you know. All right. So behind that, I have this spare Milwaukee fastback knife. I carry one of these around. I guess people call it everyday carry. My everyday carry is really everyday carry because it's all in my pocket. So I have a little set of tools that I keep in my pockets at all time, wherever I go, no matter what I'm working on. And I have a knife like this that is in there, and I love it because you can flick it out really quick and it's ready to go. The blades, super easy to change those out. You press the button and you can pull the blades right out. And this is the extra one, but the one that I carry, I'll pull it out of my pocket. This one, this is plastic, so it came in a 2-pack. This is the little cheapy one. This is the plastic fastback. This is the all middle one. I have a carbide blade in this one. They last a long time. This is the one that has the blade storage. So that's the one that I like. The one that has the blade storage. I keep my extra blades in there. It's quick, it's easy, ready to go. All aluminum construction. But this is my backup down here for if I lose one. This little hose looking thing that's wrapped around it, this is a top dead center whistle. So when you need to find top dead center on a cylinder, on a compression stroke, this is what you use. For whatever reason that you need to have that, you screw this. It has 2 steps, so it works with 2 different spark plug openings, different thread patterns for smaller, like the 5/8, and then the larger spark plugs right there. You screw that in there, and then as you're turning over the engine with a big ratchet or a breaker bar or whatever, this will whistle. You can kind of hear it. So I'm blowing lightly in it, and that's what's going to be happening. You're going to be slowly turning over the engine. The piston's going to be moving slow, and this thing is set up to where if slow moving air is going through it, you'll hear the whistle sound. So at the point where you stop, as soon as you stop hearing the whistle sound, you're at top dead center. Stop turning over the motor. Another reason why you want to do it slow. This tool is set up for the motor to be turned over slow. So that's what this is. Super helpful tool. I needed it because I was working on a Chevy 1500. I had to change a distributor on it. It's an older truck, and it still had a distributor. And if you ever change out a distributor and you have to reset the timing, because that's how the timing's set on trucks or distributors, you have to use the timing marks, yes, but that's all dependent on if you have cylinder 1 of the truck on top dead center on the compression stroke, right? And that's why I got that. Okay, so this is a helpful tool, you know, kind of an old school thing, but hey, that truck was a 2006, guys, so you know you might run into that. You might get a good deal on a older truck that's in good condition, and you'll need one of those. All right, got a couple magnets back here. Gotta have these, right? Drop screws in the engine bay. This one extends out pretty long, collapses down to a pin size. It's made by Titan, right? Has the big head on it, so sometimes you're not gonna be able to fit that some places. You can see how big the head is. So I have this other one. It's a Craftsman with a much smaller head on it. Much smaller head, and the head's on a swivel. You can get different angles and stuff. So I got some magnets. I have a inspection mirror. When you're trying to see stuff and you can't really see, you know, whether it be a spark plug hole or the opening for a screw or something that you're trying to get started, or a bolt that you can feel for but you can't see, you're definitely going to want to, you know, a telescoping inspection mirror. This one's made by PT, I think. I don't know what the PT stands for. It comes out of the auto parts store. It's just a cheap tool, guys, but they're handy. Underneath all of that, or on top, this is something from a camper, guys. This is a special tool for adjusting potentiometers on different window shades. So I have the stubby. So this is the one that you probably be using on the window shades, especially the large rear window on Airstream Class B motorhomes. And then this one, more so for your Thule canister type awnings. A lot of people make them, Gerard's, same tool. You spin that, you're gonna have two different little plastic Allen sockets to control the in and out stops on those awnings and those window blinds. So a very important tool right there. I have some on the truck as well. Underneath here, I have a set of, hadn't even opened these, never had to use them. But disconnect tool set for fuel lines and stuff. Some fuel filters, you need this to get some of the fuel filters off, and so I went ahead. I like to have stuff even if I don't need it right then and there, just in case I do need it. This is made by Lyle. That's the part number. Yeah, all the different sizes, color coded. I think I got that from O'Reilly's Auto Parts. They sell loud stuff in O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Okay. Right beside that, I have this icon set. This is a extractor set. Basically the snap-on copycat. I believe it's a, this is not, let's see, 25 piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the 15 piece kit, not the 25 piece kit, and it's very expensive on the truck. I hadn't had any of these to break, you know, so I guess they're all right. I also hadn't had any of them to extract anything, but at least it didn't break. So the last time that I used it, the only time that I've used that set is when I was working on that Nissan with the stuck oxygen sensor, and the oxygen sensor broke off, and I tried to use that to get the threaded portion off, and it broke the whole bung off. So I say that's good because it broke the welds and everything and took part of the pipe with it before it failed. So I'm happy with that set. It showed itself to be pretty stout. Okay, let's get you back there a little bit more. Right here, a while ago, I don't know about now, but Irwin used to make the tap and die set for Snap-on, and this is the Irwin branded set. I don't know who makes it for him now. This is that's what I heard anyway, but I don't know how true that is, guys, because Irwin is owned by Stanley Black & Decker, and they have their own tool truck brand, Mac Tools. So I don't know how true that is, but that's what people tell me. But I bought that before I even knew that, just because I like Irwin, and growing up, Irwin always had good tools, especially when it came to, you know, thread repairs. And what you have in here is thread chasers, pretty much Or you can take a piece of solid rod, and then you can take one of these, hold it in the vise, and spin on the drill or whatever, and send it down and make your own all thread. Or you can use these as thread chasers, and then you have your normal taps for drilling a hole and tapping it so you can put a machine screw in it. Okay, so that's what the stuff is for. And then it has the little holders so that you can do it by hand. All right, very simple yet important tool, your caliper hooks. These are made out of metal, so they're rigid and stiff. Got little protective boots on the ends. I have 4 of these. This is another inexpensive tool that'll save you a lot of headaches. Get you some of these caliper hooks. They don't cost that much. All right. Moving over. I'm gonna move you guys over, and let's go down a little bit. See if this rig wants to do it. There we go. All right. So what we have from here, I'll just use a small one so it can get in the frame. Those other ones are really long, but they're all the same. These are trim removal tools. These have a grippy type rubbery grip. They're Pittsburgh. Nothing wrong with them. You're using this thing to pop off plastic clips. It came with different sizes, so you get a couple short ones and then a bunch of long ones, which can come in very handy. This guy behind all the trim removal tools is just another magnetic tool, magnet pickup tool with a flashlight built in on the end, which come in very handy. Got it from O'Reilly's Auto Parts, probably for like 10 bucks. When you're dropping something in the dark engine bay in those little recesses and you kind of saw where it went, but you don't really know, the flashlight helps out a lot with that. All right. Some people might recognize, and move you a little bit closer, this set from a previous video. That's the Craftsman, based on a viewer suggestion. It's a Craftsman cooling system set. It comes with the pinch off pliers, and this is the main reason why I was happy to get it, because it has these spring clamp pliers, which are like $20 all by themselves. And this one, you know, it's kind of ratcheting, right? So you can see this little mechanism right here lets that fall free, but as you squeeze down on those little clamps. Now, Knipex has a pair of water pump pliers with these little hose clamp deals on the end right here. It's like $150. Couldn't believe that. So I paid $33 for this whole set. It is made in China. I bought it because Amazon said it was made in the USA, but on the back of the box, which I still have, as we can see, it's made in China. So, made in China. Amazon lied. But nevertheless, I didn't mind buying it and picking it up because I got these spring clamp pliers, which sell for $20 all by themselves. So that means, and I would have paid $20 for those. So that means I got everything else for, because the $33 was after tax. So I got everything for, it was like $24.99 before tax. So that would mean I got the rest of the stuff for like $5, which 2 pinch off pliers, hose picks, another hose pick right there, and then also a pair of cutters for cutting and these come in handy for when you're having to cut vacuum line, fuel line, any of that bulk line that you buy when you have to replace, when you're working on a car, some of that line after it gets really in a hot area for a long time, it gets all brittle and stuff, and you're gonna have to replace some lines. It's nice to have a flush cutting tool. This cuts it square and flush and keeps it nice and even and round, and not cutting it like all slant, crooked at a 45 or something. So these are great. So I'm happy with the kit because of all that came with it. All right. Now down here, these are the same thing, but these are just made by Snap-on. What do you call these? For the trim removal tool, trim clip removal. Okay, and Snap-on gives you 3 different sizes. Here are the part numbers, because these do have part numbers on them. Okay, you can buy them individually, or you can get the 3-piece kit. I don't know, I think I paid like $120 for these. The color I didn't care about. They call this the High Vis. And it has the hard handles, which are nice, especially in oily situations. I like the hard handles. So you got 3 different profiles on these. Comes in this little tray. You can see the 3 different profiles for 3 different size clips. Beside that, I have an awesome tool made by OTC. You can't really see it because it's faded off, but this is the OTC Drain Plug Pro. And what you do is, this thing is super flexible, as you can see. And when you're working with your drain plug and you don't want to get that hot oil on you, you put this on there. The magnet is like a rare earth magnet. It's super strong. And then you just, after you broke the torque, you can take that and spin. You can spin that nut off, and you see it has the 2 flats. So it catches 2 of the sides of that bolt. Has a strong magnet in it. This one is the updated one, so it has a removable head. The head comes off now, and you can see the oil on it, right? Because I use this thing all the time. Now it's a 1/4-inch drive right there. You can put socket or whatever on there if you didn't want to use their magnetic tip, and you could use this thing for something else as a flexible driver, which is pretty cool, man. So I told you it wouldn't be a long one, and that's it. That's this drawer. That's all for now. RV Tech Pro out.